Okay, so today is October 2nd. Sorry, in my brain. I was like, all right, October 2nd, 10-2. My brain went like 10-2 and also 10-2. I don't know, I probably could have done 10-2 also. But anyways, it's October 2nd. It's Thursday. Good morning. Welcome to that's right, it was California Talk Thursday because I am still here in California. I don't know exactly when I'll be back. Knock on wood, theoretically, I should be back by this time next week. Maybe a little bit sooner. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But before I get into the week, because it's the start of a month, should do like a September review. Looking forward to October, which I totally forgot last week, as I very often tend to do when it's the last Thursday of the month. Which also I didn't record this on the last one on Thursday because I'm going to do it before I left. Which was a really good idea, by the way, because no, I was so fried when I finally got to the apartment on Wednesday, and then Thursday was just like a really busy day. Like, yeah, I would have not have had time. That was a really good call. But so September in review is kind of hard because September in general is just like this really hazy blur where I don't know what happened, which is how I felt during the month. Like, throughout the month of September, I was like, what have I done this month? What am I doing this month? I can point to some specific things. Like, I did some writing. Like, I got some Isla done. I made some Severance progress. I think that's when I did a lot of the artist stuff. Some of that might have been in August as well. Like, I made progress on that. I know I did some Orichalcum stuff. No, it wasn't September that I redid the prologue. That was like July, I think. I started playing the Sky remake. I only got to do it for a few days, but I did. I got like 20 hours in. I was having a lot of fun. Football started, and that's good. It's bad because Saints are 0-4, but it was expected, so I guess that's fine, but like, I've been reading Ward, which I haven't touched in a couple weeks, and it's one of those things where it still bothers me that I'm not reading it, which means I do care and I still want to. I just haven't yet. I still haven't watched any more Victory Gundam, but the overall way I can describe September is I feel like I got enough progress done in various areas to not feel like time was wasted, and I got enough rest, especially because I had a week off at one point. Like, I had enough rest to feel like I don't even know how did I write it down? It was like I had enough rest to function, but I don't feel like I got nearly enough of either, because there's a lot more I could have done just in terms of like stuff in general, but also especially with my writing that I just didn't, because I didn't really have the energy for. But even when I wasn't doing anything and I was actively trying to rest and relax, I'm stressing about all the stuff I'm not doing. That's not conducive. That's not very helpful, but it is what it is. Sorry, brain was stopping. I am kind of tired. I'm really tired, but I don't know. It's kind of like what I was just saying. It's like I don't really rest enough, and I don't relax, because even if I'm just like relaxing, I start to stress and then bug myself because I'm not doing more, and it just sucks, and it's frustrating, and it's exhausting, but it is what it is, I suppose. I guess looking ahead to October, like, I'm hoping to do more writing. It's just a spooky month, but I would like to watch some horror movies, and I don't know how many horror games I'm going to play, because when I get back, I'm going to play Trails, I'm going to play Pokemon, I'm going to play Silent Hill. So I know, like, Silent Hill F is a big game I really want to play, and that's a horror game, so there's that. maybe we'll play some Silent Hill 4. I don't know, but we'll see. And then, yeah, I want to make more progress on these 3 big writing projects. There is some progress being made on all 3 and like some different fronts and different avenues, and I guess we'll just see how that goes. I'm hopeful. I guess that's the best way I can say it is I feel like each of the 3, there is a specific plan that I have, and there is genuine progress in all 3 areas. We'll just see how that comes to fruition, whether that's this month, this year, in a few years, I don't know, but just trying to do what we can. As for the past week, like, ish, I forgot to bring up Knights of Guinevere in the last video, because I watched it, like, Clay and I saw it the day it came out, and I don't know, like, I didn't dislike it by any means, but I remember, like, I was really excited for it, really looking forward to it, and the first, I don't know, like, 5-10 minutes or so with, like, the Walt Disney-esque character, the little girl who's, like, dragging the princess around and stuff, I was like, this is really cool, this is really interesting, I want to know everything about this. But then when we really got to, like, Frankie and Andy and the world that they're living in, it felt less interesting to me. And not like, man, like this, again, like this is boring, this sucks. I'm like, I don't know, this feel like, it's like the aesthetics of the world feel unique, but I feel like I've seen this particular vibe before. So I think, like, genuinely, I really like the visuals. I absolutely love the way it looks. But I didn't feel after the pilot that, like, whoa, I'm hooked, and I really want to see more. Now, don't get me wrong, if there's another episode, I will watch it. And a lot of that is because of how much I loved Owl House. I'm like, okay, if Dana Terrace is working on a new show, I have to check it out. And I will also admit, yeah, Owl House didn't really grab me from the word go either. Like, I thought the first episode was fine, but I remember I was like, I remember thinking at one point, I was like, so when does this show get good? It's not bad. I can, like, kind of see the potential, but it's okay. And I don't even remember at what point I went, like, okay, I really like this show. I think it was at some point during season 1, but it took me a while. But then when it got me, it got me. Like, I've talked about how, like, I can't watch season 3 without just, like, being on the verge of tears the entire time. It hits me in, like, a really personal place. So I am excited to see more of this, but I thought episode 1 as a whole was cool. There are some interesting ideas, great visuals. I didn't love it yet, but genuinely, given time, I very much expect to. I think that's while we're on Glitch. There was something I thought about in regards to Digital Circus. This is the spoiler stuff for episode 6. It's been like a month and some change, but yeah, it's been like a month and a half. It came out on the 15th of August. If you've seen the episode, you know that the most famous part of it is Jax and Pomni's conversation. And Jax just, as I see people say, crashing out. And his coping mechanism and just how unhealthy it is. And something I've been, like, really thinking about, because my first impression watching it was, especially because, like, he's becoming friends with Pomni, they're becoming close, but then he sees, like, a Ribbit's door and sees that picture of the person we presume to be his friend, and he immediately goes from, like, yeah, and then immediately, like, goes into coping mode. And the way I first saw that was, okay, that was his friend, he's now reminded of the person that he lost, and he's like, oh, I need to start being defensive again. But thinking about it more, like there's a part in that conversation really early on that stuck with me. And it's Jack saying to Pomni, when Pomni's like, well, it's just the two of us now, and maybe there can only be the one of us. And, she points the gun at him, expecting him to turn on her and whatnot. And Jack's just like, oh, yeah, you can betray me. Like, it's fine. No, come on, do it. Like, it'll be fun. It'll be great. And the more I kind of think about it, the more I'm like, was Ribbit abusive toward him? Like, is that the relationship they had? And maybe it was less of a like, no, like this was his one friend. This is someone that he was really close to, but something happened, possibly Jax's fault. Ribbit abstracted, and like, Jax feels a lot of guilt. Or like, no, this is someone who hurt him. And this is someone who acted like a friend, who held themselves out to be a friend, but were genuinely terrible. And so, like, it's easy for Jax to kind of start letting his guard down and having fun talking to Pomni. And as soon as he sees Ribbit, he gets defensive. Like, he retreats into his shell. And yeah, that might not just be a, oh yeah, that's right, I've lost someone before. Maybe I should be more guarded and more of a, people have hurt me before. Friends have hurt me before. I'm not letting that happen again. And also just that fact of Jax like begging Pomni to shoot him. Again, just kind of made me wonder if, sorry, I'm gonna go see a friend, and like he was literally pulling into his garage. But it made me wonder if is like, again, like Ribbit is someone who hurt him, who abused him. Ribbit is someone who betrayed him. So he's expecting Pomni to do it. He's like, yeah, like you can go ahead and do it. I know you're going to. They did. They did it all the time. Why would you be any different? And really egging her on to do it. Like, come on. I know you're just like them. I know you're just like them. Give me a reason to believe my own lie. And I mean, obviously we haven't had a new episode yet, so I have no idea if I'm right or completely barking up the wrong tree. But it was something I was kind of thinking about. I was like, that is pretty damn interesting. But we'll see what happens. Also, like Nights of Guinevere, something I forgot to bring up last week. The Ding Dang Anaconda trailer. This is a movie starring Jack Black about him going to the jungle to film a movie about a giant monster that ends up being real, and he and his film crew are trying to escape. It's the plot of King Kong and the plot of Tropic Thunder, but definitely seems to be more in line with the tone of Tropic Thunder. And it's a really weird niche that Jack Black has. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like I like the first Anaconda. I really like the second one. I've seen, what is it? It's like the Hunt for the Blood Orchid, or like Curse for the Blood Orchid, something like that. I think I'm combining, I think it's like Hunt for the Blood Orchid, but Curse's Hunt for the Blood, or Curse of the Blood Rubies, which is Dragon Ball. And I'm just like combining the titles in my head. But I really love the second Anaconda movie. So I'm honestly just kind of excited for a new Anaconda movie. And the fact that it's like, okay, it's going to be very ridiculous, very tongue-in-cheek. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of expected. This should be fun. I'm gonna have a good time. It's just such a fun trailer. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said, have my multiple writing projects. I feel like each is making some progress in its own unique kind of way. So there's that. Definitely hoping that continues throughout the month. Excuse me. I finally actually started playing Bonanza. And what I'm kind of doing is less of a, okay, here's the map, let me go, like, all right, here's like the places I'm supposed to go, let me do that, let me kind of follow the plot or the intended route. Or, all right, let me just kind of walk around, explore, let me try to find bananas. I'm just punching things. I'm just like, you know what? What is all this level doing in my level? I'm just gonna level this and just punching shit. And like, this is really fun. This is kind of a nice stress reliever. This is why people play Doom. But instead of shooting demons, I'm just punching canyon walls. I just get to be a big monkey. And so, with my skill points, I upgraded my punching power. And then I got chunk jump. I was like, look, I gotta get chunk jump. That's just actually a good ability. And then I upgraded my punching power again. And then I upgraded my punching power again. I'm like, that's just all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna max out my punching power. And then after that, I don't know, probably like better sonar, better collecting. Because I'm like, man, I just really like punching the terrain and collecting gold. I'm trying to get gold more than I'm trying to get bananas. And if I find a banana, like, I'm gonna go for it. But I guess that's the thing. Like, I'm not really looking for bananas. I just want to roll around and punch rock. But it's fun. It's really fun. And then, like, after I do it for a while, then I'm like, all right, let's make some progress. And I make some progress, and I punch stuff again, and then, you know, rinse and repeat. So, I think I'm in the canyon lair. It's like, I'm very much not far. Like, I just had another fight with Grumpy Kong. So, gosh, how many layers are there? I know there's a lot. I think I've seen most, if I haven't just seen all of them. But I'm not, excuse me. Sorry, brain stop. What I was trying to say is, I'm not like sitting down and marathoning the game, which is kind of like, if I have a session, I have a session, but my sessions tend to be like 2 to 3 hours, and I am genuinely having fun, and I'm glad I'm having fun. So, speaking of games and fun, the last thing I have to say is, I went to a game last week. I actually went to the Colts-Rams game. I was able to get a ticket that was like $40. It was like $46. That was like including the fees. Like, dang, this is a really cheap ticket. It was super high. Like, I'm in the nosebleeds, but I'm like, yeah, I can see the entire field. Because I've had a seat at a game before where it was like a really good ticket. Like, I was pretty close, and this was like 10 years ago. But I was close to one of the end zones, which is really cool when a team is there about to score. When they're on the other side of the field, or you're just like seeing the back of the drive happening, you're like, this is less cool. But admittedly, like, being pretty high up, like, no, I can see everything that's going on. Like, when there was a fumble, which happened a couple times, like, oh no, I can see that. Like, if there's like a ball bouncing around, you can, like, I felt like I could see the ball really well. I could still see the players. Like, great. Yeah. So that was great. The atmosphere. I thought the atmosphere was a lot of fun. So, where I was sitting, like, there were definitely a lot of Rams fans. Like, I was sitting next to a guy who seemed to be a very passionate Rams fan, but there were also a lot of Colts fans in the area as well. So anytime there was a play, like, you'd hear the Colts fans reacting, you'd hear the Rams fans reacting. The Mitchell fumble was like an electric experience. Because the Colts are backed up, like, at their own 20. It might have been a little further back. Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, like chucks the ball and a dude catches it. So like at the start of the play, you're hearing like boo, boo, and they have like a decibel counter showing like how loud it's getting, which was very often the like mid 90s or low hundreds. So like it's getting really loud, and then the ball gets caught. You hear the Colts fans going nuts, and you can hear the Rams fans just going like, ah. And then he's running, and then you hear the Colts fans getting even more and more excited, like, oh, he's out to score. And you hear the Rams fans going like, no, like what the hell? And then like you see him cross, but then you see the ball start to fall, and like, oh, what just happened? What just happened? And then when you see the replay, you hear everyone like going nuts and reacting, and it was awesome. And then there was a play early in the fourth quarter where a Rams player, I don't remember who it was, but a Rams player fumbled, and you just like see the ball go flying, and like the stadium's going nuts because the Colts had just scored a touchdown and taken the lead, and the Rams fan beside me is just saying nothing, just like his jaw is on the floor. I'm like, this, like, I'm sorry, brother, but this is just like a peak experience as a neutral person who just wanted to see a good game and got a good game. Like, just all these reactions, and then later on in the fourth quarter, here's this big Jonathan Taylor run for a touchdown. And again, the Colts fans are going nuts. The Rams fans are beside themselves. But then partway through the run, you see a flag just go flying in. There's this Colts fan I saw just turn away from the screen because he knew what it was. He's like, it's going to be a hold or a block in the back. This touchdown's not going to count. And that's exactly what happened. It was a hold. But you see, he turns around. He's like, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to know. It was really fun. And I got to follow some of the other games. Like, I watched a bit of Colts. Actually, not Colts. I watched the entirety of that. Actually, no, I didn't. I actually missed the first, few plays of it. But anyways. Chargers-Giants. That's what I was trying to say. I watched the first half. I was like, this game's closer than I was expecting. Oh, yeah, there goes Joe Wall. Chargers just lost their left tackle again. And they're going up against the Giants, who have a very good D-line. Yeah, I can understand why, Herbert's not having a good game. That's understandable. But it was definitely interesting to watch. I caught most of, if not the entirety of the fourth quarter for Packers-Cowboys, which was wild to witness. I did not think the game was going to... I'm going to be honest. I thought the Packers were going to win. I thought the Packers were kind of going to win by big, but... Damn. I give credit to the Cowboys. I guess that's really the thing with the Cowboys. They have an offense that can win you any game. They have a defense that can lose you any game. That's what the Bengals were last year. That's what the Saints were for... I think it was the... Yeah, it was the early 2010s, or maybe not necessarily, kind of around the middle of the 2010s. But it's those 7 and 9 years where, the Saints could drop 40 and give up 41 in any given game. And just the fact that I ended in a tie is so funny. Sorry, I'm just kind of blanking right now. Like I said, I am still kind of tired. But I think I more or less said what I wanted to about the week. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. You take care. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good October and the rest of the year, etc., etc.